thanks for joining me today to talk about Microsoft's latest release wave for Dynamics 365 Sales. After looking through the release wave notes, what's been your key takeaways?
Hi, Cara. Thanks for that. I'm happy to be here. So, for me, Wave 2 release shows that Microsoft is continuing to invest in a seller's journey using Dynamics 365 sales. The latest release really hones in on referencing and recognising how the world's way of working has drastically transformed over the past few years, and with that, how the role of the seller is evolving too. Because now buyers expect a blend of digital and personalised experience throughout their journey. The 2022 release wave 2 for Dynamics 365 for sales looks at continuing to optimize the seller's experience using data and AI to help sellers prioritize their work while blending business and productivity tools to help them engage efficiently and reclaim their time to focus on customer connections.
Great, thanks so much for that insight. So, I guess I'm keen to talk a bit more around what's new and what's planned for this release. So, what are your highlights?
So, two things that initially caught my attention were duplicate detection rules and email validation. So now system admins will be able to configure additional parameters for duplicate detection. In addition to the standard duplicate detection rules, this feature will support identifying duplicate leads. This can support seller in having a consistent and single view of the customer or account. Also, administrators will now be able to run and review all email addresses on active leads. This will ensure quality data is captured in the CRM, meaning that when sellers are interacting with leads, they know that the address is valid, meaning that time spent on engagements with leads have a lower chance of the emails bouncing.
Nice. So, I guess that saves a lot of time then. Do you think there's anything else worth calling out in this release?
So one other feature as part of Wave 2 is that you can now use sequences and up next with any form, and sellers can now create sequences themselves. The up next widget, which were previously only available under the Sales Accelerator workspace, will now be embedded on the lead, opportunity, contact, and account forms. Now, given the correct security permissions, a seller and other allowed users can now create sequences from the personal settings area within the Sales Hub app. This lets them create tailored sequences to their way of working and communicating best with customers. By connecting their own sequence to a segment or to a record, the sellers can now follow the sequences from the Up Next widget on the entity form.
Oh, great, good. So, would you be able to show us a demo of that at all?
Yeah, let me just share my screen. So now, as you can see, I'm currently in the contact form, and I can see that I now have my Up Next widget available on the contact record. I have the button which enables me to connect to a sequence that is pre-built for a contact. And here I can see all the available sequences to me at the moment. I'm going to connect my sequence to my contact record, and now as a salesperson, anytime I'm in that contact record, I now have a single view of all the actions for me to carry out to continue communication with the customer.
Great, that's super organised. So, thanks so much for sharing that and for joining me today to talk about the latest release wave. I'm sure we could go on and on talking about all of these fantastic features, but unfortunately, that's us out of time. So, again, just thanks very much for your time and your insights.
Thank you. Thanks, Cara.